All right, guys, welcome back after a month off
Yes,
to
sir.
Trust Sports. What's good, my guy? How are you?
Malik, I'm good, man. It's good to be back. It's good to
Yeah,
be
it's
back.
good to be back. New beginnings, but we still
Yes.
pushing it through. Um, Sports has been quiet. We've had some hit and misses. We've had here and there some things come up. But we got some things to talk about this week. We have some schedules. It was actually this was a great weekend for me. It was a lot of I've had some debates with some guys about football.
Okay.
Now when I'm out at barbecues around friends, they know the podcast, so they're open to talk sports to me. So I had to stand tall in those discussions about my Cowboys and just about sports in general.
Staying sharp, man. Staying sharp. Even
Have to.
it's the behind the scenes that really makes the show.
Yeah, exactly. People don't see. But before we get it off, we gotta get into our trust of the week. Um, you got trust of the week, or you want me to kick it off, brother?
I do, man. I do.
Go
And you
ahead.
know what? It's summertime. I know we've had Memorial Day. We just had the fourth wrap up. We'll have
Yes, sir.
Labor Day back in September. I don't even want to think about that. Not
Yeah,
rushing
right.
summer, but my trust of the week. I'm trusting in the long weekends, man. And I actually had a question for you because it's a fun little. Would you rather on these 3 day weekends? Would you rather have off on a Friday or would you rather have off on a Monday?
Give me that Monday. I'll take that Monday.
I kind of agree. I kind of
Yeah.
agree, and especially again, it's summertime, so we don't have football. But if we were ever to go to like that 4 day
Yeah.
work week,
Yeah.
let's hope one day we do. Give me the Monday off. But again, with the holidays that we just had, man, it's so nice to get that extra day or two in the
Yeah.
short work weeks. This is my first full work week in like two or three because we had off for Juneteenth.
Oh yeah.
The fourth, I took off like a Friday for, and then obviously the fourth had off. So
Yeah.
the fact it's only Wednesday right now is killing me,
hmm
but definitely trusting in those long weekends and the short work weeks that follow.
Respect. Actually, the one thing that's great about my job is for a short period of the summer, we get Fridays off. So right
Oh, you get
now,
them off.
yeah, we have off like pretty much every Friday up until August. So May something to like August something, we have off every Friday. So it's so clutch, bro. It's so
That's
clutch.
that's nice. I know a lot of people that have the summer Fridays that do the
Yeah,
half days. I'm
the
in
half
sales,
days.
so there's no such thing.
Yeah.
But that whole day, that whole Friday, man, that's awesome.
It's like the one thing you're like, all right, this job sucks, but I can trade off on those days. And like, especially if you've been here for a while, the employees that's been here for some years, they have days banked. So like, if it's a 4th of July week, or if it's like a weird week to where some reason we get Thursday off, they take off those 3 days and they get.
Oh, a
Think about
full
how
week.
long you get off. Like you get some change off. So
Yeah.
it's like I know I haven't seen people on a Monday and I haven't seen so many people for Thursday and Monday in so long. Like Mondays are dead here and Thursdays are dead because they just like double it up for that's a
Jeez.
week off. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you took 2 days.
Can't beat that. You're taking my
Yeah.
trust and putting it on steroids.
I like it. I like that. All right, my trust of the week I'm gonna take it to a different way, right? I'm gonna be petty with this one. Trust of the week goes out to Easy Pass. I feel like no matter what, Easy Pass finds a way to fuck every single person up I know, including
Mm.
myself. Easy Pass just got me. I'll show you right now. Easy Pass, and I don't know why. I don't know what happened. They're saying I didn't pay my toll, and I have an Easy Pass. I went through a toll that was $2.45 both times.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Okay, so I owe you that money, right? No, each one of those has its own individual admin fee of $50 each. So that's $104 that I owe because of an individual $50 fee on both of those. So I trust in New
What?
Jersey Easy Pass to always. I don't know how this is legal. I don't know how they're getting away with this. I don't know how this isn't a bigger issue. Like this is nuts to me.
Wait, so you don't have an easy pass or you
I
do?
do. I do have an Easy Pass. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it didn't read it. I don't know if my balance is low, but if my balance is
Oh.
low, it will say contact Easy Pass, and I'll just or refill, and I just go on my account and refill it because I had to change some things over. But for a $3 charge to then be $50 processing fee is wild. Like that
Where
is nuts.
where were you going? What bridge?
Not a bridge. I was just going up north on the turnpike. I was just on the turnpike.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fun fact, and I live in Philly. Obviously, we're from Jersey. I don't have an Easy Pass still. I I actually enjoyed talking to the people when I would
The toll
give
booth.
them
Yeah.
the toll booth people,
Yeah.
and it's gotten to the point now where like if you're coming back on a Saturday night, I'm waiting there for 15 minutes in the
Oh
cash
yeah.
line, and the Easy Pass people are blowing by me.
Yeah.
So I've been looking to get one, but I don't know now.
Nah, I think over the bridges I've never had a problem with, but like that the turnpike is always giving me issues, and it was just nuts. I saw that I was like, how is this legal to throw maybe a $5 processing fee? I could you know what I could stomach that 10 maybe I could stomach that, but 50 is out of control,
Both
man.
ways. Both ways.
Both ways, brother. Both ways
Jesus.
just fucked me over. And that, yeah, it just pissed because I have easy pass because you could probably see me holding it up because I hate that it sits there. But I know what I do respect the people who still stay strong to wanting to give people jobs that go to the toll booth, that when it comes to paying for their groceries, they don't go the automated route. They go wait in that line and, go to the associate. Because growing up, we became really, really close with our toll booth associate who worked
Yeah.
because my mom lived over the bridge. So we became really close. She seen my brothers grow up and always loved us and would talk to us. So I do respect that. I respect that.
There's a couple guys that I've grown to know.
Yeah.
With guys that are on the Ben Franklin, man. And again, it's tough because you always got to make sure you got money. If not, go to Wawa right before and get cash out. And
That's true.
Again, waiting in those lines. But fuck it, man.
I love breezing past the people too. I ain't gonna lie to you with the easy pass.
It is nice when I have my girls easy pass and just going by. It feels like a new person.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I'm weak. All right. But our bold predictions. This is what we want to kick it off with. We want to predict this upcoming. Are you just thinking with football?
I'm thinking with football. If you want to do some others, I'm down for that. But I mean, I feel like we're hitting the point in the summer, and I'm a baseball guy, but I feel like right after the All-Star game, like All-Star week, things are slow. This is when football really starts to ramp up. So that's what kind of got me my idea, or this idea of like doing some bold predictions, maybe some guarantees you think really early on, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know we're all itching for football, so why not give it a little bit of it?
Yes, sir. All right. Let's go back and forth. I don't have that many, but we can go. I know you have one. Go ahead and spit yours first, and I'll back you up next.
Yeah, back and forth. First one might be a little crazy, Malik. I'm going to take it back to a conversation you and I had during the NFL playoffs this past year, and it was the Bills-Bengals, and we both agree. It's very rare that Malik and I agree 100% on something. I'm sure you guys have listened to the heated debates. It was the Bills-Bengals playoff game, and we both said, Josh Allen does not get the heat that a lot of other quarterbacks get, and he needs to step up, and he did not step up. And I think we even said it, like the Peyton Manning-Tom Brady new rivalry that we thought Josh Allen and Mahomes were going to be, it's not. It's Mahomes and Burrow.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, he's kind of chokes. He turns the ball over a ton. But anyway, this bold prediction, Bills miss the playoffs. They miss the playoffs. Now, I know it's crazy. A team that won 13 games, this team that's been so dominant really since Josh Allen entered the league. But I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think they can. Number one, just look at their division. Okay, every team but the Bills got better. Now, I know you're going to talk about the Jets.
Don't say that one.
I know you're going to talk about the Jets. In reality, I see a Jets team that was 7-4 with Zach Wilson and Mike White at quarterback. They added Aaron Rodgers. Now, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is the MVP he once was, but he's damn sure better than Zach Wilson was last year.
Sure.
They got better. The Patriots, not a big Mac Jones guy, but they brought in a real offensive coordinator. They were running with Matt Patricia, the old defensive coordinator, being their OC. It was just a mess last year. Mac Jones seemed like he didn't have his head right. They are still kind of favorites to land D-Hop. At least it's out there. Patriots, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they probably got a little bit better. Look at the Dolphins. I would think the favorites right now to win the division. If you can keep Tua healthy, you have arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league. You got Jalen Ramsey. Now you have arguably the best cornerback duo in the league.
Yeah.
Year two under Mike McDaniel. And again, I mean, if it wasn't for that crazy Tua season last year just derailing what they had going, who knows where that Dolphins team would have been. So I look at the division. Every team got better. Then you look at the Bills. They lost Leslie Frazier, their D coordinator, who kind of just left. Diggs, is he even in camp? Is he still complaining? Like, he's not there. This has been a whole mess. There's reports that Sean McDermott is kind of rubbing people the wrong way. And then look at the AFC as a whole. If you don't win that division, you're competing with probably the Chargers, the Ravens, or the Bengals, whoever doesn't win that division. I'm high on the Steelers this year. Maybe the Browns make some noise. The Jags are in town now. I mean, you have like 4 or 5, maybe 6 teams battling for 3 wildcard spots. You're one injury or a couple bad games away from this becoming a reality. And it just seems like the Bills' window to do something is closing and closing in a hurry. So I think this kind of starts it. I think they miss it.
And here's the thing. I like him a lot. Like he's a dog, he's definitely a boy. he was on Busting with the Boys, and they were talking about the dig situation and what was going on. Side note, did you see what they whenever you see a white linebacker, what they call it?
I did, but I forget right now.
It's so anytime you see a white linebacker out there, you just call it milk. So
Yeah,
milk.
yeah, yeah,
Anytime
yeah.
you see a white linebacker, I was like, that's an awesome audible, bro. That's fucking hilarious. But I told you like this last year. Like I don't think he's the guy that's gonna. Like I said, I think he's like your Phillip Rivers. He's up
Yep.
there with those. Like that's when we compare him to guys who could win you this season but never get you far into the playoffs. Like is that comparable? Like, I think so. Like I don't think he's going to be that top notch guy. I respect his game. I'm just, you know what I'm also tired of? I'm also tired of this fucking narrative that we need super teams. We need quarterbacks to go out there and have 5 fucking wide receivers, awesome off the line. Like, where were the days where Tom Brady was all he had and he made the name for guys? When was the days where fucking was it Eli Manning had his guy and he would dump it off to what was it fucking Clark, right? It was like, I mean, Peyton Manning. All these days of like all these times of like these quarterbacks who made names out of wide receivers but also went out and fucking, no matter who was out there, will win the fucking game. Nowadays, you just make up excuses for these quarterbacks all fucking day, and that leads me into what my bold prediction would be next. But I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, and it's again, I mean, I feel like we've been looking at the Bills. Like last year, everyone had the Bills in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And the year before that, a lot of people did. And it's just like, I get it. Because like you said, Josh Allen is a dog, man. He's one of the most talented QBs in the league. He doesn't get the heat that a lot of these guys do. Like if Mahomes had stumbled in the playoffs like he did, oh, you wouldn't hear the end of it. Like you would have guys that just, I mean, hey, I guess that's the media. They pick on others more than most, but I don't know. I really think the Bills are closer to missing the playoffs than winning a Super Bowl right now.
But okay, so let's look at this conversation with Dak, like him and Dak. Like, let's be honest, how far can a quarterback keep taking you? And we know put no blame on the quarterback.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
You see Dak just take Dak is the problem, but Bills Mafia won't ever look at that. Bills Mafia will never look at it. Bills Mafia will look like he needs more weapons. He needs it's play calling. It's just the luck of the draw, you know. Like it's like, all right, here we fucking go.
Exactly.
But that leads me to my point with the Jets. So my bold prediction was I promised I bet my bros 7 games, but now they're saying it was 6, that they wouldn't win more than 6 games, and I don't see the Jets as getting any better because of what I saw out of Aaron Rodgers last year. The team that I saw him with last year. How different is this team from Green Bay to the Jets? You know, you add a wide receiver that's nice. You add a better defense, but where we put it on his back? Do you believe in A-Rod to make that big of a change at his point in his time to the Jets? Do we see that happening? So I said, let's just say 6 games, right? I looked through. They're scheduled to start.
I was going to say, I just pulled it up
ridiculous.
too.
I see them not winning a fucking game. Maybe one, and that's the Patriots, if the Patriots don't get their shit together, right? So they lose to the Bills, they lose to the Cowboys, and they're playing at the Cowboys. They lose to the Patriots, in my eyes. They lose to the Jets. I mean, the Chiefs. They beat the Broncos.
That's tough. I mean,
That's
Denver at home early in the year, now with Sean Payton, like even that's brutal.
Come on, man. They lose to the Eagles. They lose to the Giants. I don't see them beating the Giants.
No,
that's another one we could talk about. You know how I feel about the fucking Chargers with Herbert. How many times are we going to say they're a top team going into the year? Like, get the fuck. But this, I'll let them go only because of their new offensive coordinator, who's a bitch ass dude from the Cowboys. Like, I forget his fucking name now.
Ellen Moore, you're gonna miss him this year.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
I'm
not. Either way, we will suck because we have McCarthy calling the play calling.
Exactly.
So we'll be in the same
boat. Which
boat.
will make you miss him. You'll want anybody in there.
Just like anyone off the street. Let me call it, bro. Let me just pull Madden up. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. Will they be able to stop the new Chargers offense, right? So that's one I'll toss up to. That's a win. The Raiders, that's a win. Do you think that the Jets would split with the Bills? I know it's always some trouble that they have, but I don't see them splitting with the Bills. So I'm going to say the Bills win outright. The Dolphins, that's another big game. That let's see, where do you have that one going? I'll let you decide this one. That's late in the season.
That's tough too. Again, I have a different opinion on the Jets, and this is tough too because who's to say Tua isn't concussed by week 5 again?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm scared of.
Full health though, I don't know. If they're struggling, if the Jets are struggling the way you have them projected to be, they probably will lose that game.
Okay, so that's a loss. They beat the Falcons. Let's just say my boy. You know what? I can never, ever downplay my boy. But you know what? I'll give it to him. He's a rookie year, late in the season. He might not be figuring it the fuck out. So let's just say that's a W for them. That's 5. They play the Dolphins again, so I'll split it. 6. They go into the Commanders, Browns, Patriots. This is why I know I said 7. Because I said out of one of those games, you'll get one out of them. So I say they have 7 wins. That's how I know my bet was 7, but now they're trying to say it's 6. But let's just say the Sean Watson can't figure it out. And one of my things too is I believe Washington is going to be a good team this year coming back. I'm nervous to see like what that quarterback, like how he plays. But let's just say like they lose to the Commanders. I don't see them winning more than 7 games because no matter what, let's put it all on A-Rod. I love A-Rod, but you're putting it all on A-Rod. Now he has a better wide receiver. I mean, how many wide receivers did he have? At the end of the day, when you say he won a Super Bowl, he didn't win a Super Bowl. He had one of the greatest defenses of all time that won a Super Bowl. Let's put it on A-Rod.
Okay, but now let me ask you, because that's going to be my point with the Jets, is their defense is young. Their defense was...
That's what I was hearing.
Their defense was the reason that they won really any games last year.
Exactly.
Again, in theory, you can't get worse than Zach Wilson last year. You
100%.
just can't. And they still won. They were still like in the playoff push, so that's where I'm worried a little bit with your bet.
Yeah.
Is there an Aaron Rodgers gets hurt clause? Like if he gets hurt week 1, you're fine. But
no. It's still on the fucking table. I told him, I said, it's on the table. But as well as this team, it's one of these things as an organization is going to be an organization. No matter what weapons you throw in there, the organization is still going to be itself. And that's what I believe. And they were talking to me like their division is better than the NFC East's division. And I was like, there is no way you can compare divisions to the NFC East.
No.
Like we have, let's just say, like, if you like this year, you want to have a toss up. To be honest, in this year, it's a fucking outright. I give it to the Birds. But at the end of the day, it's a toss up every fucking year.
I mean,
every
again,
year's toss up.
I have a guarantee, and we'll get into that in terms of the toss up. Another thing that, and again, I'm trying to help you out here because I do disagree with you. I'm on your boys' side with the Jets, but.
Boys, it was 5 of them. North Jersey dudes, 5.
They were just selected for Hard Knocks, which is something that they were pushing hard not to do.
Yeah.
How much will that affect them? I don't know.
Yeah,
but still, it's something that coming into camp, it's an annoyance enough that they pushed it off this far. Normally, you know who's on Hard Knocks in like March or April. It's mid-July, and they just got the Jets to do it. So, hey, maybe that pokes a little thing.
I mean, hey, one of the best Hard Knocks season was the Jets. Like when it was Rex Ryan, that was one of the best ones to ever watch. It was the Cowboys one last year was fucking trash. When they did, was it not last year?
The Lions last
year. Lions last year was okay, but no, the year before that with the Lions and like the Chargers split. I mean, not the Cowboys and Chargers. Like that was just trash. But I don't know. I stick by this because I don't know. I think. I didn't know how delusional Jets fans were because honestly, I don't know any fucking Jets fans besides my boys who are from up north. I can't believe they're Jets fans. But how cocky they are this year going in with we landed a gem of did you really land that guy? It's still A-Rod.
In their world though, I think you and I were texting about it. Like look at the best quarterback that they've seen in our generation was Mark Sanchez. So I would probably be behind this shit too.
But look at me. Look, that's like if A-Rod came to the Cowboys, I'm calling Super Bowl. I wouldn't. I would see him as the same guy who's he been. I would see him with all the weapons he had and knowing the Cowboys' way that we're still going to find a way to fuck this up. Come on, Jets fans.
You're right about that. But I feel like his thing, though, is he chokes in the playoffs. He normally does get there, but we'll see.
But you're talking about a division now where, like you said, Miami's getting better.
Exactly.
The Bills at the end of the day are going to be a creep. When they can figure out a way to beat the fucking Jets or beat the fucking, beat the Dolphins. So
and they play, what you just said, they play the NFC East. You could realistically go 0-4 against our division.
Exactly. Come on, bro.
But that's interesting. Like I almost like the Jets to win that division, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy.
It's too much money on the line. You can't think that way. It's $400 on the line. You can't think that way.
To help your case, I never would have thought the Broncos crumbled with Russell Wilson last year. Maybe it's just the first year things go not as smoothly as we think.
That's true.
I'm going to go another bold for you. Little cheeky. I'm going to take the Bears to win the NFC North. And here's a few reasons why. Malik, we talk week in and week out about a lot of these games. There's no reason other than Justin Fields why we wanted to talk about the Bears. They were a dumpster fire. He had no weapons to throw to. The O-line was shit. The defense was shit. But he kind of kept them in a lot of games. And I'm trusting in your boy to take that big leap. I know he's compared a lot to what Jalen Hurts did, and I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
But look, you bolster that defense a little bit. You got two of the best linebackers on the market. You bolstered up the D line. You bolster up the offensive line, which could not be any worse than last year. You hope that Justin Fields is improving his game to take that leap.
Yeah.
But you also brought in a guy who I think is very, very, very underrated in DJ Moore, who, when they traded for that one pick, that was one of the players that they got back. I think it's very, very underrated. I think between him and Mooney, they have actual weapons for him to throw to. I like Cole Kmet, their tight end.
Mm-hmm.
They had a really good draft. I don't know what the Packers are going to be. I mean, we just talked about Aaron Rodgers and what he was, and the Packers were not. Like, they still didn't want to move on from him and go to Jordan Love. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
You see teams now that are drafting these quarterbacks and throwing him out. They're like, this is our guy.
Yeah.
They've got Jordan Love like 4 years ago, and he's rarely seen the field. The Vikings are the Vikings. We called them frauds all last year. I don't know what the hell they're going to be.
Cousins still there?
Cousins still there. So there you go. You just made my point for me.
But your sleeper is them Lions.
And this is my thing with the Lions. I feel like they're almost not a sleeper. They're currently the favorite to win it all. They're the betting favorite. I feel like every show you put on now are like ranking the NFC, and they're putting the Lions at like the fourth best team. Like, everyone is so high on the Lions right now, and I think it's one of those things that when a lot of people are on one team to be like that sexy pick, it normally doesn't turn out to be that.
Yeah.
And they were the exciting team. Obviously, everyone's rooting for them because they never win anything, and they turned it up, and they almost made the playoffs. Like, they beat Aaron Rodgers to keep him out of the playoffs last year. I don't know if they can kind of keep that up. Again, they're one Jared Goff twisted ankle away from being a top 5 pick in the draft next year.
Yeah.
They had a horrible draft.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. They're too unknown for me. And again, I'd rather take a chance on the Bears, again, with Justin Fields, fucking electric. I hope that he can kind of take that leap. He reminds you a lot of Lamar or Jalen Hurts, like the guy that can do a lot with his legs. He kept them in a lot of games last year. The roster is a little bit better this year to where those games that they lost, flip them around, and you add 5, 6, 7 wins to it. And who knows?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that worries me is to see that team turn around, right? Wait, did they beat you guys last year?
No, but Eagles won by 5. Even that was a fight.
It was a fight, right? Like, and I think that you either have two ways to go about this. Either this is a Lions team who turns the leaf over. Like last year, they couldn't figure it out. They figured it out now. They had those so many close games. No, I think we lost the Lions last year. No, I don't know. No. I feel like the Lions had so many close games. Like, that's how their season was going, that they turn it over and they start winning these close games. Or it was just hyped up and they're back to, again, organizational play. It's the organization. That's just the way the organization runs. I don't see Love being a guy in Green Bay. But I still could see the fucking Vikings pulling it out to lead a division just off if Fields can't figure it out. Again, Fields showed you last year what the fuck he could do. Just give him the weapons now.
Exactly. Like, and they actually gave him help. And I'll run through the schedule quickly, and you let me know. Week 1, Packers at home. Call it a win. Week 2, Buccaneers. Buccaneers are tanking. Call it a win. Chiefs, loss. Home against the Broncos, maybe. Let's just give them a win.
Yeah.
Washington, give them a win. Vikings, let's say they split. That's the one they win. That's 5. Raiders at home, that's a win. Chargers, Saints on the road back-to-back. Let's say they lose both. Home against the Panthers, Bryce Young, who knows what he's going to be. Throw him a win, that's 7. The Lions, maybe they split, that's 8. And then they have Cardinals, win. Browns, you just said, I mean, what if Deshaun Watson can't figure it out? And then the Falcons, I would think between the Browns and Falcons, they can win another. So I can see 10 wins there, which in that division can be enough.
But that's what I say. Like, in that division, if you could have a 9 season and still make the playoffs.
Exactly.
So, I respect that.
I can see.
I won it for my boy. I won it for my Ohio State guy. So,
exactly.
I guess my bold prediction next year, I'm gonna go in college sports. I'm seeing Ohio State lose 3 games. I don't see Ohio State. Let me look at the schedule. I didn't even look at the schedule, but I don't see Ohio State having a great year this year. And I see Michigan winning for another year in a row versus Ohio State. Our guy at our quarterback position still doesn't know. We don't know who he is, who's going to be the starting role. Oh wait, before oh no, I'll stay on this track. Let me go look up the schedule and
I
exactly.
can. So I may have. You're at Notre Dame in
I have
September.
us losing versus Notre Dame. I expect Notre Dame to be a powerhouse this year to
Yeah.
have figured it out because Ohio State is trash. Uh, I have us losing to Michigan, and then the big one will be can we get over Penn State?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And that's it. But again, it's just like I'm so nervous. I can't go through another year losing to Michigan, and I think it's going to happen. And I think that Michigan still has their guys coming back. They have more guys coming back, and we don't have it figured out. And the only thing we have our blessing is we have Mario Harrison Jr. coming back, but who's going to throw it to him? And he's going to be triple coverage as he
Yeah.
probably will. And if he wins the Heisman shit, that'd be amazing. But he doesn't win that without a great quarterback. If you put him this year again with what's his name, Stroud again for another year, he wins the Heisman outright, or Stroud wins the Heisman outright. But I'm nervous for
Yeah.
this year. I'm nervous, bro. I'm more nervous for. That's what I was talking to my boys about, like college football or the NFL. I care more about college football than I care about fucking NFL because I know what the Cowboys will do and
Yeah,
what
I was
they'll
gonna
do to
say.
me. Ohio State's my only buy-in of like get me a chip, and I had the biggest heartbreak last year, and I'm nervous that it's going to happen this year. I have more investment into Ohio State than the Cowboys.
Look, if that happens, Ryan Day's gone. Do you bring
Oh
back Urban Meyer?
well, no, Urban is first of all when that documentary drops, he's not going to be allowed into another stadium
Oh,
again.
yeah.
So that's one thing. But I love Urban. I wanted Urban to come to the Cowboys when
Yeah.
when he was out there. We got fucking McCarthy. So I don't know. I don't think that's going to go down. But one debate that we were having is the boys out at the Bay, San Francisco. I was debating that, of course, as a Cowboys fan, that I believe we had a different quarterback. That both years in a row we beat San Francisco. If we have a different quarterback there, right? I was debating who would you start? Would you go with Brock Purdy because of what he has shown you, or do you go with your guy that you drafted, that you spent a lot of time in, but he was also off? Who do you go to start with?
I almost go with the third option,
Neither.
Sam Darnold.
Darnold. But
Well,
what did
look,
Darnold show you when he was with the Panthers, though?
here's my thing. If you're right because his numbers were trash, but so were the Panthers. Um, Here's my question to you though. Realistically, because I'm sick of the fucking Niners. All they do is bitch and whine. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So at this point, I'm like, I'm totally out on them. What has Brock Purdy shown you? Now I don't want to. Now I know what his record is.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if we go back and look at the teams they played,
yeah.
honestly,
I mean,
I
in
think we
my
even talked about this going into the NFC Championship game. Like the best team they played were the Cowboys, and Brock Purdy at home put up what, like 10 points, 15 points.
yeah, in my eyes, when I look at that team, and I agree with my boys when we discussed this, that you need a system quarterback. You don't need a
Exactly.
guy to go out there and fucking, be a Jalen Hurts. You don't need that guy. You just need a guy to sit in that pocket, throw it around the
Moving
field.
the
You have one
ball.
of the best defenses. You have a
Mhm.
great fucking a wide receiver core, tight end. Like
Yeah,
anyone can sit in that pocket in my eyes, but it's just about making the appropriate throws and not doing too much. Because let's be honest, you have an all pro coach in Kyle Shanahan, right? And that guy is a fucking genius. Let's be honest, he was leading them through the games. He was winning those games. I don't give
he
it to
was.
Purdy. He was winning those
Oh
games.
yeah,
And
exactly.
anyone could sit as a coach. Like you just got get me a guy that can do what I fucking say, do my assignment.
Which I think can be Sam Darnold,
That's
especially
true.
if Purdy's not 100%. Now look, the only thing with
Yeah, you're
Kyle
right.
Shanahan, just make sure you don't put your backup tight end on the best pass rusher in the NFL. That hurts your quarterback. So you guys bitch about it for the next half year. But other than that, he's great.
I didn't know how. I still agree that he should have fucking went in and acted as a decoy. But now that you know the injury, everyone's like he couldn't even feel the ball or even grip the ball. I don't give a fuck. It's fucking playoff season. It's like
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm built different. I'm a dog, bro. I've been there where I've broken my fucking wrist and I still played through a high school football game. Like
Thank
you
you.
know what I mean? And I was a center. Like and I broke that wrist. So like I've been there. Like I know what that is. And of course it's not as egregious as what the fuck he went through, right? You have pitchers who when this happens, they're out for years, right? They may not ever come back.
Yeah.
Again, he's a pitcher, really. He has to have that
Yeah.
accuracy. Let's see where he's at. You're right. You could put anyone back there. I guess you're right. But Sam Darnold has shown me he's trash. So that's why I'd rather let me get our draft pick that we fucking got. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah. But no, you're right. I mean, there's even, and my girlfriend, her brother-in-law's from the Bay Area, so I've had this conversation with him, and he was a big Trey Lance guy when they got him.
Of course.
But we've had the same conversation of what you guys were just saying, like what you and your boys were saying, that Trey Lance almost isn't as attractive to this team anymore, almost because of how athletic he is, right? Almost because of how much he can do. Like if you put Justin Fields on that team and you put Kirk Cousins on that team, I would make the argument Kirk Cousins would have the better year just because of how that system is built. Like it's built to have a guy almost like Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Isn't going to win you games, but probably won't lose you.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, look, Brock Purdy did what he needed to do to go 6-7-0 before getting rocked at the link. But, I mean, look, I don't know. It's very interesting, the Trey Lance situation, because you're right. They gave the house up to go and get him. And now, essentially, even if you want to get rid of him, there's no trade value. No one's going to give you anything for him.
What you just said is a great point in how you can summarize Dak Prescott. And when I was talking about this discussion, like Dak Prescott won't win you a game, but he can go out there and definitely lose you a game.
Yeah.
And I think that's you bring up a good point. Like, I agree. I was gonna say like a Kirk Cousins could sit in that fucking pocket and just here you go. But I don't know. He could be a guy that loses you it. Last thing, when we come to conference talk and stuff like that, do you believe that no matter what, the Giants have no option but to trust in their boy? What are your predictions for the Giants this year? Like, no matter what, you could say what you want. You could hate the divisional teams, but you love the coach. Like, I love their head coach. He's a dog. He seems like he's like really just a 9 to 5. He works at like a fucking factory, and he just is a dog. And he's the guy that you want to go to talk to. So, what do you expect out of the Giants? Do you see them being one of those top contenders this year? Because in my opinion, I'm nervous that they could be at the end of the division if the Cowboys get their shit together and if Washington figures it out.
No, I'm with you, and you're right. They're almost in this weird middle ground where last year they caught a lot of people by surprise. So now what are you going to do as an encore? Are you going to cement yourself, win this division as one of the best teams in the NFC? Or are you going to take a step back and be the third, fourth place team, miss the playoffs?
Yeah.
I'm looking at their schedule briefly. Obviously, they play the division, but they go on the road to San Francisco. They play Seattle at home. They play at Miami. They play at Buffalo. The Jets, we already talked about. They play at the Saints. I would say they're probably going to miss the playoffs this year. Yeah. I am with you. I have a weird feeling about Washington. I love Ron Rivera as a head coach. Yeah. And I think the unknown of Sam Howell, I'm not going to crown the kid, the third best quarterback, already better than Daniel Jones or whoever you want to say. But I feel like I've been saying for a few years now with Washington, if they just get a quarterback, they're going to be dangerous. I like their defense a lot. I think they have a few playmakers on offense that they can be dangerous. And look, the Giants can't beat the Eagles. They rarely beat the Cowboys. And if Washington does get it figured out, you're staring 1-5 in your own division in the face before you play anyone else. So if I were to make a prediction on them, I can see him finishing 3rd or 4th in the division. Listen.
Okay. I got you. I agree with that. All right. Any other small predictions before we jump into our next debate?
I guess the last one I had, not a bold. This is my put a stamp on it. Okay. I think you just touched on how good our division is, and this stat of not having the repeat division winner since like 2004. Sometimes the division was trash. Sometimes it was fantastic. Either way, I stamp it. That changes this year. The Eagles win it again. Look, this isn't me being a homer. I'm not going to say that the Eagles are going to run the table like they did last year, win 14, 15 games with ease. The schedule's tougher. But what we talked about with Dak, I really think McCarthy calling plays is a dumpster fire waiting to happen.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles get 12 wins this year and win that division. I do think the Cowboys are right on their heels the whole time, as it normally is with those two.
Yeah.
I think Cowboys are a wild card team again. But give me the Eagles to win at least 12 and win the division again. I'm locking it.
Yeah, I definitely would give you the only thing I'm worried about, and if I was the Eagles fan, is I would be concerned with the Super Bowl lows that the following year, there's a lot of there's like that for some reason that like that locked in that even if it's the same team,
it is.
You just can't fucking get it back. Like it's gone. Like for some reason, you know what I mean? And like that's what worries me. But no matter what, it's Hurts. He's gonna be here for a while.
I see your Super Bowl hangover worry, and I raise
Yeah,
you
yeah,
Jalen Hurts, and
yeah, yeah.
I think you just look at guys like Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Fletcher Cox. Like these are
Kelsey's not
guys.
fucking doing shit anymore, bro.
He is, man. He's still the best center in the league, truthfully. And even if he's half of what he was last year, that's still better than half the league. And
Yeah,
I think what he brings in leadership wise, I said this to you last year when the Eagles are going on their run. I said to you, it's almost been too easy. I was waiting for the slip up. There's always the slip up with the Eagles.
yeah. You guys slipped up at the biggest stage of all time.
Well, yeah, but up until that point, and
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
point was because of the leadership and because I think it all
yeah.
starts with Jalen Hurts. They got him
100%.
paid. He's ready to roll. They're bringing back virtually the same team. I think they
Yeah.
even got better on offense. I love the draft that they had. So
Defense wise,
defense wise, got better.
you think you guys got better?
Not better on the defense. The
Okay.
safety still worries me, although I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up getting Buda Baker. They got C.J. Gardner-Johnson in August last year. I can
Yeah.
see Howie doing the same thing and bringing
Yeah.
in a veteran safety. I don't like the safeties at all. But I think the offense is going to be that good. It won't matter too much.
Yeah. I mean, you think
Only
you have
when
a
you play
better.
Mahomes.
Yeah. You think you have a better running back, and that's where I don't. Well, was it you that said that? It might have been Tone.
I think, right, I absolutely would take DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny over Miles Sanders' bitch ass.
No. I said over Pollard.
Oh, not over Pollard.
Okay,
Over
Tone.
Miles. I'm saying it's an
Yeah,
upgrade
previous.
over
I'll give you
Miles
that,
Sanders.
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, Tone was arguing me that he believes that Swift is better than Pollard, and I was like,
I
I don't
think
think you watched
we
enough
talked
Pollard.
we talked about it. That might have been why you even asked me because you guys were
Yeah,
having that argument.
yeah,
I probably would rather Pollard than Swift, but I don't think you're giving Swift the respect he deserves.
yeah. We'll see. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched his film. I didn't watch him all year like I did, of course,
Yeah.
Pollard. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, but again, his name didn't ring bells like it did like for what Pollard was able to pull up. But again, this what makes me nervous, man. We're putting the game back on Dak. Hopefully, Pollard has a way to come back. Like this is Pollard coming off a broken foot. It's only a broken foot, but he's still.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like what is he come?
Damn.
What kind of running back is he? It's different if you just have Pollard fresh coming back as
Yeah,
he's the number
wow.
one now. You have Pollard coming back as the fuck. He's coming off of an injury at the end of his season, at the end of the season as well. And let's see where Dak is sitting. And I think the Cowboys we got better on the defensive side as well, but. You put it in Dak's hand. I mean, how many years we're going to sit through this? And what sucks is that we're going to sit through this of being a little bit above average football team that we don't get to draft and we don't get to get these guys that needs to come in like the Eagles did, and it's just going to be a rough couple years until Jalen Hurts decided, you know what, I'm out of Philly. I hate fucking Philly, and I don't want to retire Philly.
Yeah.
If he says, once I hear him say, I want to retire here, fuck it, I'm gonna off myself. I was like, God damn, that's 10 years, Brody, at least.
Look, if you're worried about Tony Pollard, there's a running back out there right now that you guys can pick up. Zeke, I think I can see him in a
Zeke's on our
Cowboys
practice.
uniform.
Hey, first of all, don't disrespect Deuce. Double Deuce is coming in. Don't worry about Deuce.
Yeah,
All right?
that's right. All 5'3" of them.
And don't worry. We already have Zeke is on our practice squad. So if we need to bring him up. He'll come up.
He will be up. There's another guarantee. Zeke will be in the rotation
He'll
by
be
week
sitting
5.
somewhere on the beach. He's somewhere on the beach right now. Okay, so then let's get on. When you want to get to greatest athlete of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, so by all means, I do not want to say who is the greatest athlete of all time. This is always debatable and different conversation. I think this also comes back to background, right? What type of sport did you play growing up? Everyone thinking their sport is harder. But for the first time ever, you get a baseball player to get into that conversation. That is a first true baseball player, right? You would get those other athletes who cry that crossover. And I think when we want to talk about athletes, you have to now consider I don't want to mispronounce it. How do you pronounce his name?
Shohei Ohtani.
I know how to just pronounce his last name, Ohtani.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Ohtani, this is the first time you're seeing a dog,
Dude,
being able to go out there,
nuts.
hit the way he hits, pitch
nuts.
the way he pitches, and play all like it's just unbelievable. And people don't understand how difficult that is to do those things. Like
It
one
would
of
be-
one.
It would be amazing. It would be amazing if he was like average at both,
Yeah.
or even below average. If
Yeah.
he just did it and it would be incredible.
Yeah.
He's elite at both. He's elite. He
Yeah,
leads
so-
the league in homers. He leads
Yeah.
the league in like every category for the Angels, hitting and pitching. It's nuts.
Like someone was saying, he has the ability to win so many awards. Like in 1 year
Yeah,
he could win like
he
all
won
these announced.
everything.
Yeah, he could win
Everything.
everything. And I was like, damn, that's a good discussion. It's the first time we've seen a baseball player in that discussion because no matter what, you would always get your Deion Sanders and your
Hmm.
Bo Jackson, who did crossover, right? Who had that crossover
Right.
of playing baseball and stuff like that. But in my opinion, the greatest athlete of all time, in my opinion, I give it to Deion. To see what Deion was able to do at the cornerback position, also going out to return kicks, to call what he wants to call, to be that star in his star ability, as well as then go ahead and be like, you know what, I'm going to play baseball as well. I mean, I think he has one of the craziest stats ever. Like, he was able to score in a football game and
Yeah.
also a baseball game in the same week. Like, and he was playing in the major leagues. Like, he was signed with the Yankees, right?
Uh, Dion. Yeah, I think he was with the Braves for a while. He was with the
Braves.
Yankees.
It was the Braves. To score and hit in the MLB and to get on base in the MLB alone is crazy enough. But to then go out and be like, you know what, I want to return kicks in the NFL as well, then I'm gonna do that. Like, and he was one of the first athletes to say, like, he was the first one to get NIL deals because he was still in college when he went to the pros and got paid by the MLB. Like, he was one of the first guys to do this, and then to go on and do what he's doing at the now the coaching level. Like, I mean, when I look at that, like, you can't who can compare? Again, if
Yeah.
you want to say athletes of all time, you compare Jordan, you talk about LeBron, you talk about Kobe, but I don't really think that generally these guys were so far more athletic than what we see out of uh, a a Deion Sanders. Like if I were to put Jordan on the court, on the football field, what do you think Jordan would do? If I were to put Jordan, I mean, let's be honest, baseball career, he didn't have the
He
best baseball
tried.
career.
Yeah, he couldn't
He
get past
tried.
the
He was
minor
he was
leagues.
minor and he was struggling.
Yeah,
Let's see if you put LeBron. Maybe I could see LeBron possibly playing in football, but I think he would have got cracked. He would have went
I
the
was
other
gonna
way.
say. Yeah. Yep.
So I don't see that crossover. Like the only guy you can say this with is Bo, but Bo got hurt too soon, so we never would have known what his true potential could have been because he was a dog on the field in both ways too, right? At the running back position as well as playing outfield. Like those are saying he did some crazy shit. So
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I definitely would give it to Deion in my opinion.
it's fair, and I think the definition of like best athlete of all time is it gets there's variations to it.
Yeah,
What I'm
yeah.
trying to say because you can say Tom Brady's the greatest
People throw
athlete of
Tom.
all
Yeah,
time,
exactly.
but I mean, then you're like what your argument is and what mine will be because I would say Bo of like pure athleticism. Then it's like it's not Tom Brady.
No.
Um, Otani has the argument for what he's doing in his sport to
Yeah.
be the greatest athlete of all time. Somebody brought up. It's funny. Our boy Vaughn, who we had on the show before, he'll always ask me for like NBA comparisons or NFL comparisons to what's going on in baseball. Right?
Hmm.
He's kind of one that gets more involved, and it's been going on since like high school. And I think he asked me for one on Otani, and I was like, bro, I don't even have one. The NBA comparison, it's like, I don't know, if Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid combined for like one player, and you got it on both ends of the court, like there really isn't one. And then I saw somebody said it's like Peyton Manning also playing safety like Ed Reed, and it's true. And
Yeah. In the respective sport. Yeah.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but he is ridiculous. He is
I
that
mean,
good. So
I feel like if you compare him to a Luca and a Giannis, like if you put
that's what I'm
Luca and
saying.
yeah,
And even like and maybe even better than that. Like
yeah.
he's absolutely he's insane.
Now, but when you get into the conversation of, and this is why I had a conversation with my boys, was you get into the conversation of skilled versus athleticism. Because when it comes down to baseball, it's more about being skilled. It's
Exactly.
not really about
Exactly.
athleticism.
Exactly.
Athleticism has it shows its moment. It has its moments like what's that fucking guy name who like stole second, stole third, and stole home? Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh my God,
athleticism. You know what
dude.
I mean? That's
Fucking
he's one
sick.
of the De La Cruz, right? That's his name. De La
Yeah,
Cruz.
he's so
Like
much fun.
yeah, like those guys, like that had that unbelievable speed. Like that shows me your athleticism, right? Like you have
Exactly.
your peaks of athleticism, right? But you're not really, you know, he doesn't have the ability to show you that so often. But when I like skilled wise, I would give it to him. Like one of the like that's to have an arm and a bat like that. It's just it's unreal. I mean, I never seen even in high school. I mean, when you're growing up, no matter what, you have to play both ways. Like
Hmm.
you play in the field and you also bat. You play both ways, but I never saw someone that I know that can pitch crazy as well as hit crazy. Like usually someone has one of those two things.
Exactly. And that's why, no, and I'm with you. And that's why I mean, like, there's different variations of
Yeah.
this question. Most skilled of all time, maybe it's too early even for
Yeah,
Otani.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's only been like 3 years. Um, but I think my greatest athlete, I mean, you mentioned him already, Bo Jackson,
Hmm.
career cut short, unfortunately. But
Free
man,
accent,
the
yeah.
way he was fucking built, how fast he was,
Yeah.
how hard he hit in football, how hard he hit the ball in baseball.
Yeah.
Dude was fucking incredible. I wish that it's never gonna happen today. I
Yeah.
wish we were like around back then just to see it
Oh
live.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. But then also you get those guys who be like, if you see Jordan, if you would have seen Jordan play in person, you would have understood that there's no greater athlete in this world than what he was able to do. And I give basketball players the athleticism. I give tennis players the
Yeah,
athleticism. Like you know what I mean? You have to have that coordination, stuff like that. But I don't know. It's when I think about peak athleticism and athlete, I go right to being able to do something with football and another sport.
mm,
Like that in my eyes
yeah,
shows me that you're able to have all those tricks, tips, your strength, your speed, your agility, your hand coordination, eye coordination, like, and how can it cross over to another sport? Because if
yeah,
you can hit,
yeah,
run well, like let's just say you get someone like Deshaun Jackson. If Deshaun Jackson were to go play baseball right now,
yeah.
and
Hell
his
no.
ERA is crazy, he was able to hit, able to field, that would be like he's a fucking
Yeah,
machine. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You have to give respect to it.
But
Yo,
look,
you might not know who this guy is, but it's hilarious. Rallo Rodriguez, he's a rapper.
mm,
Just dropped an amazing album, right? And on his album cover, he legit has like a goat, right? Like a goat, like on the album with him. Like it, like this one is like him with a goat. I don't know if you probably
oh
can't
yeah,
see it
yeah,
in the mirror, right?
yeah.
He didn't know what GOAT stood for. Like he just thought a GOAT was like, oh, the best of all. Like I'm just that good. And then he was in an interview and they were like, Lil Baby was like, yeah, he's a GOAT, man, greatest of all time. He's like, yo, I never knew that meant greatest of all time. And
Yes.
it's like, it's in your fucking album cover. He didn't even that it just brought it up when we were talking about the greatest of all time. It's fucking
Just thought it was like
hilarious.
a
Yeah,
symbol
he was
for
just
it.
a symbol of greatness. Yeah.
Yo, also give respect for the greatest athlete of all time, Joey Chestnut, hot dog eating competition every
Oh
fourth.
my God. I love how this year
Yo,
was so bigged up.
it's about dominating at your sport, and I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody's
yeah,
dominating their sport like him.
That's respectable. That's respectable. I love how it was bigged up. I kept getting
I
announcements of
know.
like, it's canceled, rain delay. It's back on, baby, rain delay. It's back
Yeah,
on, baby. And I was like, they're only in New York City. Like, they're not that far away. It's good. Like, just
no.
go.
And someone was like, "Can we not eat hot dogs inside? Like, why does it? You don't
that's
need to
me.
cancel the event.
That's so true. Why not just move it
Just bring
indoors?
it
Like,
in an auditorium."
yeah, it definitely could. It's definitely a sport that can be indoors. It's definitely
Yeah,
a sport.
yeah.
Do you consider it as a sport? Do you consider it as a sport?
I don't know. Competitive eating, fuck, man. I
Hey,
couldn't do
man.
it. I could.
Today's time, sports is changing, man.
Why
Today's
not?
definition.
Look,
Right.
you can bet on it. Everyone's
Yeah.
tuning in to watch it, and I mean the way they condition their bodies. Like I was
Yeah.
listening to an interview with Joey Chestnut. I guess, yeah, I would say it's a sport.
Damn, I
Competitive
gotta
eating.
watch that to see how he conditions his body.
You listen to the he was on Pardon My Take,
Oh, really? Okay.
I think last week or 2 weeks ago, and he just like talks about it. I think from what I remember, they had him on last year, and he goes more in depth from what I remember. Let's try to listen to that one too,
Okay.
but just talks about like his diet 2-3 days leading up to it,
Oh
his
shit.
like everything that goes
Yeah, yeah,
into
yeah.
it, like his strategies of like eating hot dogs, and as he's doing that, like dipping it in the water. Don't take a drink of like Gatorade or water because you're only gonna fill your stomach up with
Yeah, yeah.
something. It's fucking weird.
They just mush it. Like it's just mush and they take glizzy just down the throat. Like, they don't even chew it, bro. Like,
I think like how like yeah, he will take the two dogs raw and just fucking shove them down. And as he's doing that, he's dipping the two buns in water to soak them and have that be like what
the base.
slides the
Yeah.
rest down. And it's
Oh shit. That's a huge Ayo.
yeah,
Ayo contest. That's all that is.
yeah.
An Ayo contest. But hey brother, anything else you have to say?
No, I think look, it felt good to talk football again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't fucking wait. I'm more excited for college football, as you know, but I can't wait for football to get back. What do we have, a month?
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, now that we know the
Yeah.
Hard Knocks too, I feel like whenever that drops, that's always like the okay, football's right around the corner kind of
Hard
thing.
Knocks, as well as, of course, hopefully do a last chance you. We need a
I
last chance
know,
you.
I know.
Yeah, and a
That'd be
good
awesome.
one. But hey, guys, thank you for tuning in. We're back. We'll be back. You'll get more episodes out of us. I appreciate all those who reached out to me, asking me to tell me I'm slacking on the podcast. Just know we'll be right back to our scheduled program, and we'll have guests on sooner than later. Make sure you support us. Follow us on Instagram at WeTrust_podcast. Go to the YouTube and subscribe. Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud. We're all on those social media sites. Follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Trust Up, guys.